Hi there, welcome back to Better Life Blog. This is a free course from zero to WordPress Hero. It's a complete beginner's course to building a website and blog using WordPress. My name is Nancy and I am a blogger, a work at home mom, and an entrepreneur. And I blog at betterlifeblog.com. I have 16 plus years of experience designing websites. So I've been doing it from the very early days of the internet. And I also have 11 plus years working from home and using the knowledge of being able to build websites in that process. So it's been very instrumental to me to be able to know how to build websites. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Just as a quick recap, this is part 2 of a 4-part series. And so if you are just coming into this right in lesson 2, I recommend you go back and watch the first video and just do everything in order because there's lots of good information there. So let's go ahead and get on with lesson number 2. And in this lesson, we are adding content to the website that you have just installed. So first things first, we have to log in, and there is an admin backend which you should have created in the last video. Towards the end, you created a username, an admin username, and a password. So those two pieces of information you're going to need right here. And the way that you get to that is you go to yourdomainname.com, whatever that is, / WP-admin, and that goes for whatever URL you've got. So your URL / WP-admin, you go there in your browser. So once you go to your / WP-admin URL, it's going to take you to a page that looks just like this. And you'll want to go ahead and put in your username and password. Okay, so here we are. This is the dashboard of our WordPress installation. This is where we get to do all of the fun admin stuff. Now, don't be overwhelmed. There are a lot of options here, but we're just going to take it one baby step at a time. So the way that I like to work on my websites is I like to have 2 tabs open. So I like to have one tab open with my admin, my WordPress admin, and then I like to have another tab open with my actual live website. And I just kind of keep going back and forth so that when I make changes, I can come back here and just hit the refresh button and it'll show me what changes I've made. So currently all we have is just this coming soon page. And so I just want to get rid of that real quick so I could see what the website actually looks like. And so if you just click on posts right over here, you can see there's this box right here that says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch your site, click here. Now, nobody knows that my site exists, so I don't mind if it's live and it's still a little bit unfinished. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here, and that should remove that coming soon page. So when I go back to this tab over here and hit refresh, you can see that it actually has some content here. And if I scroll down a little bit, I can see a couple things. I can see the title of my website. This is the title that I gave it. I can see the tagline right here. And then I can see my first post. And it just says, hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start writing. Okay, so I'm going to show you where you can find this on the back end. Now, obviously, you see that there's an edit button right here, which you could click and it would take you to the edit screen. But I'm going to show you on the back end where this is located. So as I said before, click on posts. So we're in the posts section, and this is going to show you a listing of all of the posts that you have created. Now, right now you can see that there's only one post in here, and it is called Hello World. And if you recall, that was the same title of the post that we just saw. So one thing I can do is I can just do a quick edit and just change the title. I'm going to say, Hello World, it's a great day. I'm just going to go ahead and click update. So I've changed the title of the post, and now when I go back to this tab and hit refresh, you can see that the title of my post has changed. Now if I switch back to the original tab and I click inside, it's going to take me to the post edit screen. And this big white box is where I can write whatever content I want. So let's say I just want to write, this is an interesting point. This is another interesting point. Whoops. Interesting point. And here is a third interesting point. Okay, so I've made 3 very interesting points, and I'm just going to highlight those and turn that into a bulleted list. And then I'm just going to go ahead here on this right hand side, and I'm going to click update. Okay, so that's been updated in the database, and let's just go back over here and hit refresh. And so as you can see, it's very easy to update a single post. The next thing I'd like to show you how to do is how to add images. So let's go back into our editing screen. And you know what? I'm just going to get rid of these boxes because they're kind of annoying. And they take up unnecessary space. Okay, excellent. All right, so now I want to add images. Now there are a couple of different ways to add images, and so the first way is to add a featured image. Now if you scroll down a bit like I just did, you'll see this box right down here, and it says featured image, and you can set the featured image. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And I don't have any images in my media library. So what I can do is I can click select files, and it's just going to take me to my desktop, and I can find files and upload them. Another way to do it is you can actually just straight drag them in right in this area, and you'll see that it turns blue and it says drop files to upload, and that just means that it's okay to upload here. So I uploaded this image, and I'm just going to go ahead and change the title. You don't have to do this, but it is good for SEO. So you could just describe the image that you're uploading. And I'm just going to set that as the featured image. And so that image is now attached to this post. So if I click update here, and then I go back to this original tab and refresh, you can see that now my featured image is here. I have my new title, and I have some interesting bullet points down here. One other quick thing that I'm going to show you with the post that you'll probably be using a lot. I'm sure most of these are very familiar to you, but just to give you a quick rundown of what these do. This you'll want to make, when you want to make titles, you can just drop down this box and it'll show you different levels of headings. And so if it's just standard body text, you'll want to use the paragraph. But if it's very, very important, you'll want to use heading 1. And if it's, sort of important, you'll want to use one of these lower ones. And so these are just meant to be used to divide up sections of your blog, to put emphasis on different title sections. Another thing that you can do is you can write a quote. And so you just highlight that, and you'll do the block quote right here, and that just turns it into a block quote. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was how to create a link, a hyperlink. So let's say I wanted to link somebody to Amazon. You just type your text. This is a link to Amazon. Then you want to highlight the text that you want to link. And then you go ahead to this chain link right here, click on it, and you type or paste the URL that you want to do. So we could just do http://www.amazon.com, and you just go ahead and hit apply, and and that just created a hyperlink there. So now if I hit the update button, and then we go back here and we hit refresh, we can see the title that I created, the header one, the heading one. We can see the quote that I've created, and we can see the hyperlink to Amazon. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a brand new post. So up here at the very top, you can click on this blue button that says Add New. Another way that you can do it is up here, there's a blue plus sign. You just hover over this and you select Post. So those are two ways. Then the third way is right under here where it says Posts, you can go to Add New. So you should never get lost because there are so many ways to get to the same place. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this one, and I'm going to give this post a title. And as you can see right down in this lower right hand corner, it just says draft saved at, and it immediately created a permalink. And so if you don't like what this looks like, what this URL looks like, you can actually just click edit and you can change that permalink and just click OK. I'm just going to leave it just as it is. And then down here where it says draft saved, that just lets you know that it saved the current state. I've got my fake lorem ipsum text right here that I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, and then I'm just going to go down and I'm going to add a featured image just like we talked about. So again, we can just drag it right in, and once we see the blue and that text that says drop files to upload, we know that we are good to upload this image. And that blue check mark means that I've got that one selected. So that's the one that I want, and I'll just go ahead and change the title and click set featured image. And so now down here at the bottom, it's set here, the image that I want. And I can just go ahead and I can save the draft. So if it's something that you're working on, what I can do is I can just save the draft and it won't appear on the front of my website. So let me just click that and I'll show you what it looks like. So if I go to my live website and I hit the refresh button, nothing shows up. It doesn't show up at all because I have not published that post. So if I go back here and I want to see what that actual post looks like, I can click on the preview button and it just opens up a new tab with this temporary URL, and it shows me what this is going to look like with the featured image in there. And so that allows me to make modifications without this post being live. Okay, so once I'm happy with it, I can go ahead and click publish. And now when I go back to my home page, I can click refresh, and you can see that the most recent blog post is now on top. And I scroll down a bit more and I can see the next blog post, which was previously written. And so you'll notice that the posts go in reverse chronological order. So the most recent post is always at the top. Now I'm going to go back to the post and I'm going to add a category because it's really important that when you're using a blog that you have some kind of organization with your blog posts. And so I'm going to scroll just right down here where it says categories, and I don't have any categories created right now except for uncategorized. And so I'm going to click add new category, and I'm just going to call this home decor and just click add new category. And so now I've got home decor checked and uncategorized. I'm just going to uncheck that and click update. So now when I go back to the home page and I hit refresh, I can scroll down a bit and I can see under this widget right here, which we haven't discussed yet, that there is now a home decor category. And now if I click on that category, it says, oops, that page can't be found. Now, don't panic because I know exactly what's wrong. And we can just go back to our admin. And so what we need to do is we need to go to settings and permalinks. What you can just do is just make sure that it's set to post name, which it already is. Sometimes it by default gets set to plain, which I don't prefer. I like the post name version because it allows the URL to be nice and neat looking like that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just click Save Changes, even though I've not changed anything. And so now when I go back here and I hit refresh, it shows up there. That's a common weird quirk that I've seen with WordPress, and so don't panic if you see something like that happen. So now that I've gotten back to this category page, you can see that it's going to display all of my home decor posts. Any post that I've defined as being in the home decor category is going to show up here. So this is why it's really a good idea to categorize your blog posts. I'm going to go back to the post that I was working on, and I am going to click inside. Okay. And the other thing that you can do to further categorize this is by adding tags. It's just a more detailed way of further categorizing. So I might say dining room. I might say house. You could think of these similar to how you would treat a hashtag or something like that. Okay, so I just want to go over the differences real quick between posts and pages because they can get a little confusing. So pages are generally static one-off content. And examples of this would be About Us page, a privacy policy page, things of that nature. For pages, the date doesn't matter. It's not listed on the page. Also, it's organized in a hierarchical structure, meaning a page can have a parent page or a child page, so they can be nested within each other, and I'll show you what I mean in just a little bit. Posts. So posts are used in general as blog posts or news articles. There are some other ways that you can use posts, but these are the two most common ways. Posts have a date and time stamp. And as you saw before, blog posts are listed in reverse chronological order, meaning the most recent post is listed at the top, and then older posts are listed below that. As we discussed before, posts are organized by categories and tags. Blog posts can also have excerpts. Something else to note about posts is that most themes display the name of the author as well as the number of comments. You don't generally see the same for pages. Okay, so now that we understand the main differences between posts and pages, let's go ahead and create an actual page. Back at our admin dashboard, we can search for pages, which is located right over here. And so right now we actually have a sample page that's already been created. But if we go back to our website, it's not really easy to see where that might be. It's not listed anywhere. So how do we get to it? Well, the answer is we need to make sure that we have a menu set up. So you go to Appearance and then Menus. And as you can see, we don't have any menus currently defined. So let's go ahead and create a menu right over here. We'll call it Main Menu and just click Create. And then what we want to do is we want to add this page to the menu. Now you can see that we have this sample page right here. There's one more step. we've got to choose which menu location that we'd like to add that to. Now each theme has its own menu locations. So if we change themes, we may need to adjust this. But for now, we're going to go ahead and click Top Menu and Save. And now when I click back over to our website and hit refresh, we can see that there is now a menu right here on the top bar, and it has our first page, which is called Sample Page. And it's a link that I can click on, and it takes me to the page. This is the page that was created by default. And if we go back and we add a new page, we can call this one About Me. And I'll just go ahead and add some content there. And I'll set another featured image. And I'm just going to drag my photo in. And change the title. Now, once I click Publish, and I go back over here and hit refresh, what happened? Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I did not add the page to the menu. So we need to go back, go to Appearance, go to Menus, and we need to add this page. So just check the checkbox and click Add to Menu. And here now we've got two pages. And you can actually drag and change the order of these pages. You can also nest these. So we'll go ahead and click Save. And now let's hit refresh. And there we go. We see it right here. So I've got my, wow, ginormous image. And then I've got my content right over here. Now this is a default WordPress theme. This is the 2017 WordPress theme, which is a great theme to start with if you don't have a theme. In lesson 3, however, we will go over how to install different WordPress themes and how to customize them. But for now, this is a great theme. It formats everything in a simple and clean way. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you is how to change your home page. So by default, WordPress has your home page set to be your blog page. And so all of your posts will automatically appear on the home page. But what if you wanted the About Me page to be your home page? Or what if you wanted the sample page to be set to your home page? So let me just show you how you can do that. We're going to go back to our admin section, and we're going to go to Appearance and then Customize. So click on that. And this is the WordPress customizer. This thing can be very useful, but it depends on whether or not the theme is taking advantage of it to its fullest potential. Now, I created an amazing theme, which I cannot wait to tell you guys about, but that's going to be saved for video 3, which has tons and tons of options on this customizer page. But for now, I'm going to show you, as I said, how to set the front page to be different than what it is by default. So right here it says static front page. I'm just going to click on that, and you can see that it says front page displays your latest posts. And so, as I said before, that's default, and that is what your blog page would be, is your latest posts. But what if I just want to set my static page to be my sample page? That's what I want my home page to be, my sample page. And then what you can also do is you can also create a posts page. But let's just go ahead and click Save. And we'll X out of this. And so now when we go back here to our home page and I hit refresh, now what's on the home page, the first thing you see is this sample page. Now I know it's not super exciting, but I've got some plugins which you'll see in video 4 that can format this page and make it look awesome. So now we've got our sample page set to our home page. And you know what, just to make this a little bit clearer, let me change this to say home page. Okay, so I've updated that. Let me just click on view page. Okay, so now that's changed the title so that it says homepage, welcome. But now I don't have a blog. So I want to add a third menu item here that says blog. So let's go back, and what we want to do is we want to create a brand new page. So we'll click on add new. Now I can just leave this empty and click publish. Now that this page is published, I can add it to my menu, go to appearance and then menus, and we can see the blog page right here. Click on that and click add to menu. And then we want to go ahead and save that menu, and we'll go back and hit refresh and just see what that looks like. All right, so I've got my blog page right here, and when I click on it, of course, there's nothing because we have not defined this as our blog page. We've called it blog, but we haven't told WordPress that we want this to be our blog page. So let's go back here. We'll go to appearance and then customize. Click on that. And once again, we have our amazing customizer. Click on static front page, and we still have our home page, welcome, as our set to our front page. And then for our posts page, we want to tell WordPress that we want this to be our blog. This is the one that we created as our blog. So we click save and publish. And so now hit refresh, and I've got my blog page right here. So just as a recap, this is the home page. I've got my about me page, and then I've got my blog page. Okay, now what is all this stuff right here? This is the sidebar, but where is that content located? Well, these are widgets. Now every theme has different widget areas, and so you have to familiarize yourself with the particular theme that you're using. But let me show you where you can find widgets. So we'll click X out of here. And then under appearance, you'll see that there's something called widgets. Just click on that. And you can see on this right-hand side that there are 3 widget areas available for you to use in this particular theme. This is going to change if you do change the theme. So in the sidebar, you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different widgets currently being used in the sidebar. Now let's just go back to the blog, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got all 6 widgets being used here. And now you have some options here on this left-hand side. These are the widgets that are available. Some of these are here by default, and some of these are here because they're included via plugins. Plugins are packages that you can install that further extend the functionality of WordPress, and they can do all kinds of different things. And that's all you really need to know about them for now, because we're going to cover them in greater detail in video number 4. But for now, you can see that we have widgets here on the left-hand side. And so let's see what happens when we drag this calendar over here into the footer 1 widget. And we can go ahead and call it my blog calendar. Just click on save. And then I'll go back here and hit the refresh button. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, we see that in the footer, this calendar has been added. And what it does is it basically has a calendar of your posts. So if I were to click on today's date, it's going to show me any post that was written on today's date, which I've got 2. So that's kind of a cool little widget that comes by default. Another one that you can add is recent comments. So I'm going to place that in the footer 2 area. And just click save. and hit refresh. And so this shows a list of recent comments. And I only have one comment here, but it can display up to 5. So as you can see, when I click back here, it gives me an option here of how many comments I can show. So since there's only one, that's all that's showing right now. But if I had 50 comments, it would only show 5 comments. All right, guys, so that's it for video 2. I've showed you how to add posts, pages, menus. I've showed you how to set your home page, and we've talked about widgets. So we got all kinds of stuff done in this video. In the next video, as promised, we're going to be talking about themes. So changing the look of your website to make it look the way that you want. So stay tuned. See you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.